In this video, let us see 17 behaviors, attitudes, and actions that you should not allow others to impose on you. These are not just simple recommendations, but are based on the wisdom of the ancient Stoic philosophers who have left us an incredible legacy on how to live a full and meaningful life. Let us analyze each of these points in detail and share quotes from the great Stoics, such as Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, who will help us to understand better why it is crucial not to accept these things from anyone. The idea is that at the end of this video, you have a clear and powerful view of how Stoicism can help you live with more strength, peace, and autonomy. Prepare for a deep and enriching journey in which we will learn to establish healthy boundaries and protect our integrity and well-being. Let's start with the first thing you should never accept from anyone: contempt. Disdain is an attitude that denigrates the person who receives it. In Stoicism, dignity and respect for himself are fundamental. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic emperors and philosophers, said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." This phrase reminds us that we should not let the actions of others define who we are or how we feel. Imagine that someone treats you with contempt, despises, or makes you feel inferior. At the moment, it may be very difficult not to react with anger or sadness. But that is where Stoicism comes in. Stoics teach us that our reaction is the only thing we can control. We cannot control how others treat us, but we can control how we respond to this treatment. Why does this way of thinking work? Because by not accepting the contempt of others, we are exercising control over our emotions and our sense of value. If someone despises us and reacts with dignity and serenity, we are demonstrating that this person's opinion has no power over us. This strengthens our self-esteem and allows us to maintain our inner peace. Furthermore, by not accepting contempt, we are also sending a clear message that we deserve respect. That does not mean that we must respond with aggression or contempt, but that we must stand firm in our conviction that we are worthy of respect. So the next time someone tries to underestimate him, of the words of Marcus Aurelius, do not allow the contempt of this person to affect you. Keep your dignity and serenity. For at the end of the day, the most important thing is how you see yourself, and not how others see you. Let us move on to the second thing you should never accept from anyone: control over your decisions. One of the key teachings of Stoicism is the importance of our personal freedom and autonomy. Epictetus, a free slave who has become one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, said, "No one is free if he does not own himself." This phrase underlines the idea that true freedom comes from within, our ability to make our own decisions and be responsible for our own lives. Imagine that someone tries to dictate every aspect of his life, from the small everyday decisions to the great choices of his professional or personal path. To accept this type of control is to give up his own autonomy and ultimately his happiness and well-being. Stoicism teaches us that we are the sole owners of our decisions and that we must be responsible for them. Why is it so important to maintain this control over our decisions? Because our decisions define who we are. Every choice we make reflects our values, our priorities, and our vision of life. If we allow others to control our decisions, we are essentially allowing them to control our identity. By maintaining control over your own decisions, you are exercising your personal power and strengthening your sense of self-determination. This not only allows you to live a more authentic life, but also gives you the ability to cope with challenges with greater resilience. You know that, whatever happens, you have the ability to make decisions that are aligned with your values and well-being. So, the next time someone tries to unduly influence your decisions, remember Epictetus' words: keep your freedom within and exercise your right to decide for yourself. Because at the end of the day, only you can live your life and face the consequences of your choices. Let us go to the third thing that you should never accept from anyone: unjustified guilt. Guilt can be a powerful tool for personal growth, but only when it is justified. When someone tries to make you feel guilty for something that is not your responsibility, It can be incredibly harmful to your emotional and mental well-being. Seneca, another great Stoic philosopher, said, "The guilt is not in the feeling, but in the consent." That means that feeling guilty is natural, but accepting that guilt without questioning it is what really affects us. Imagine that someone makes you feel guilty for something outside of your control, such as a circumstance of life or the actions of another person. This kind of unjustified guilt can make you doubt yourself and undermine your trust. Stoics teach us that we should rationally evaluate the situation before accepting any sense of guilt. We should ask ourselves if we are really responsible for what happened. Why is it so crucial to reject unjustified guilt? Because carrying blames that do not belong to you can lead you to a cycle of self-accusation and negativity. This affects your peace of mind and your ability to make clear and fair decisions. By rejecting unjustified guilt, you release yourself from this unnecessary burden, and you can focus on what really matters. Furthermore, by not accepting unjustified guilt, you are setting clear limits with others, communicating that you will not allow them to manipulate you emotionally. This is fundamental to maintaining healthy and balanced relationships, where each person is responsible for their own actions and feelings. So, the next time someone tries to make you feel guilty for no reason, remember Seneca's words: evaluate the situation with clarity and justice, and reject the guilt that does not belong to you. Keep your inner peace and confidence in yourself, because only you know what your responsibility really is. Find out how to control your emotions and unlock your true potential with our Stoic opuscule. Access Point Stoic Art with BR Stitch, or click on the fixed commentary link to get right now. Let us move on to the fourth thing that you should never accept from anyone: dishonesty. Dishonesty, whether in the form of lies, deceptions, or manipulations, can deeply harm our relationships and our perception of the world. In Stoicism, truth and integrity are fundamental values. Epictetus reminds us, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." This phrase underlines the importance of honesty, not only with others, but also with ourselves. Imagine that someone close to you lies or manipulates you. It not only undermines trust between you, but it can also cause you to question your judgment and your ability to discern the truth. Stoics teach us that we must seek the truth and maintain our integrity even when it is difficult. Why is it crucial to reject dishonesty? Because living in an environment of lies and deception prevents us from seeing reality as it is, pushes us away from the truth, and plunges us into a world of uncertainty and distrust. Honesty, on the other hand, allows us to build solid relationships based on trust, and gives us a firm basis on which we can make informed and just decisions. In addition, by not accepting dishonesty, we are protecting our integrity and our sense of justice. We do not allow others to drag us into their world of deception and manipulation. This strengthens our ability to remain faithful to our values and live according to our convictions. So, the next time you come across dishonesty, remember the words of Epictetus: seek truth and maintain your integrity. Do not allow the lies and deceptions of others to divert you from your path, because the truth, although sometimes painful, is always the foundation upon which an authentic and meaningful life is built. Let us now go to the fifth thing you should never accept from anyone: the lack of respect for your personal limits. We all have our own limits, those personal and emotional spaces that we need to feel safe and respected. Marcus Aurelius said, "Respect yourself more than others respect you." This phrase reminds us of the importance of establishing and maintaining our own limits and not allowing others to cross them. Imagine that someone constantly invades your personal space, whether physical or emotional, ignoring your needs and desires. This can make you feel uncomfortable, anxious, and devalued. Stoics teach us that we must be clear about what our limits are and communicate these limits firmly, but respectfully. Why is it so important to protect your personal limits? Because your limits are an expression of your self-care and respect for yourself. When you allow others to overcome them, you are sending a message that your needs are not important. This can lead to a decrease in your self-esteem and a sense of lack of control over your own life. Establishing and maintaining clear limits not only protects your well-being, but also teaches others how you want and deserves to be treated. This creates an environment of mutual respect, where each person is conscious and respectful of the limits of others. So the next time someone tries to ignore or cross your limits, remember the words of Marcus Aurelius. Respect yourself enough to defend those limits. Communicate them clearly and without guilt, and stand firm in them, because ultimately protecting your limits is protecting your peace and integrity. Let us continue with the sixth thing that you should never accept from anyone: the waste of your time. Time is one of our most valuable resources, and once it is gone, we cannot recover it. Seneca, the wise Stoic philosopher, said, "It is not that we have little time, but that we have lost a lot." That phrase reminds us that, although time is limited, we can make the most of it if we are aware of how we use it. Imagine that someone constantly wastes your time on things that are not important or productive for you. Maybe they interrupt you at work with trivialities, invite you to activities that you do not like, or make you wait unnecessarily. Stoics teach us to value our time and use it in a way that reflects our values and priorities. Why is it so crucial to protect your time? Because the time you lose will never be recovered. Every moment is an opportunity to grow, learn, and move towards your goals. Allowing others to waste your time is to allow you to get away from your purpose and from what really matters in your life. By protecting your time, you are showing respect for yourself and for your goals. You are saying that your dreams and aspirations are important and deserve your attention and energy. That does not mean being insensitive or selfish, but simply being aware of how you want to live your life. So next time someone tries to waste your time, remember Seneca's words: value your time and use it wisely. Prioritize what really matters, and don't be afraid to say no to what doesn't add value to your life, because your time is your life, and protecting it is essential to live in a full and meaningful way. Let us now go to the seventh thing that you should never accept from anyone: destructive criticism. Critics can be constructive or destructive. Constructive criticisms help us to grow and improve, but destructive criticisms, those that are not intended to help, but rather to hurt, can be extremely harmful. Marcus Aurelius said, "If anyone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will gladly change, because I seek the truth, which has never hurt anyone." What really harms is to persist in their own deception and ignorance. This phrase teaches us to value the criticisms that make us grow, and to reject those who seek only to destroy us. Imagine that someone constantly criticizes you in a way that is not constructive, but with the intention of disparaging you and making you feel bad. This kind of criticism can undermine your self-esteem and confidence in yourself. Stoics teach us to discern between the criticisms that can really help us improve and those that simply seek to harm us. Why is it crucial to reject destructive criticism? Because accepting this kind of criticism without questioning it can lead you to doubt your own skills and value. Destructive criticism brings nothing positive to your life and only serves to destabilize emotionally. On the other hand, constructive criticism, although sometimes difficult to hear, can be a valuable source of learning and growth. In addition, by rejecting destructive criticism, you are protecting your emotional and mental well-being. You are establishing a pattern of respect in your interactions and communicating that will not allow them to treat you disrespectfully. This strengthens your self-esteem and allows you to focus on what really matters: your personal growth and development. So, the next time someone makes you a destructive criticism, remember the words of Marcus Aurelius. Accept criticisms that help you grow up and reject those who only seek to harm you. Keep your focus on the truth and your own development, and do not allow the words of others to stray you from your path. Let's move on to the eighth thing you should never accept from anyone: lack of empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, being fundamental to build healthy and meaningful relationships. Seneca said, "Where there is a human being, there is an opportunity for goodness." This phrase highlights the importance of empathy and kindness in our daily interactions. Imagine that someone close to you shows a total lack of empathy for your feelings and experiences. They may despise your emotions, minimize your problems, or simply show no interest in your well-being. Stoics teach us that empathy and kindness are essential to a virtuous life and to maintain healthy relationships. Why is it crucial not to accept the lack of empathy? Because empathy is the basis of human connection. Without it, relationships become superficial and lack of real understanding and support. Lack of empathy can make you feel lonely and devalued, affecting your emotional well-being. Furthermore, by not accepting the lack of empathy, you are establishing a pattern of how you want to be treated. You are communicating that you deserve to be heard and understood, and that relationships based on empathy and mutual respect are the only ones worth it. This not only improves the quality of your relationships, but also allows you to live in a more compassionate and supportive environment. So, the next time someone shows a lack of empathy toward you, remember Seneca's words: seek kindness and understanding in your interactions, and do not allow the lack of empathy to affect you. Surround yourself with people who value your feelings and experiences, and who are willing to show empathy and support. Now, let us go to the ninth thing you should never accept from anyone: constant negativity. Constant negativity can be extremely toxic to our mental and emotional well-being. Epictetus said, "It is not the things that disturb us, but our interpretation of things." This phrase reminds us that our perception and attitude towards life are crucial to our happiness and inner peace. Imagine that you are surrounded by people who always see the negative side of everything, who complain constantly, and who have a pessimistic attitude toward life. This negativity can influence their own state of mind and perspective, dragging them into a cycle of negative thoughts and anxiety. Stoics teach us to maintain a positive attitude and focus on what we can control. Why is it crucial to avoid constant negativity? Because negativity can contaminate your mind and spirit. Being surrounded by constant negativity can cause you to lose sight of the good things of life and prevent you from enjoying the present. Furthermore, negativity can diminish your motivation and ability to face challenges with a resilient and optimistic attitude. By rejecting constant negativity, you are protecting your emotional and mental well-being. You are choosing to focus on the positive and surround yourself with people who inspire you and support you. This does not mean ignoring problems or being naive, but adopting an attitude that allows you to face difficulties with strength and hope. So, the next time you come across someone's constant negativity, remember Epictetus' words: you have the power to interpret situations in a way that benefits you. Keep a positive attitude and do not allow others' negativity to affect your inner peace. Surround yourself with people who cheer you up and push you to be better. Let us now go to the 10th thing you should never accept from anyone: emotional manipulation. Emotional manipulation is a form of control in which someone tries to influence your feelings and actions for your own benefit. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts." This phrase underlines the importance of maintaining control over our emotions and thoughts without allowing others to manipulate them. Imagine that someone in your life constantly uses tactics of emotional manipulation, such as guilt, intimidation, or emotional blackmail, so that you do what that person wants. This can be extremely damaging to your self-esteem and independence. Stoics teach us that we must own our own emotions and not allow others to control us through them. Why is it crucial to avoid emotional manipulation? Because when you allow someone to manipulate your emotions, you are delivering your personal power. This can lead to decisions that are not aligned with your values and desires, and can make you feel trapped and resentful. Maintaining control over your emotions is essential to living an authentic and free life. By rejecting emotional manipulation, you are protecting your autonomy and emotional well-being. You are establishing clear limits and communicating that your emotions and decisions are yours, and that you will not allow others to control them. This strengthens your sense of identity and allows you to make decisions that really reflect who you are and what you want in life. So next time someone tries to manipulate you emotionally, remember the words of Marcus Aurelius. Keep the quality of your thoughts and emotions under your own control. Do not allow others to manipulate your feelings for their own purposes. Protect your emotional autonomy and live according to your own values and desires. Now, let's go to the 11th thing you should never accept from anyone. Constant disapproval. Constant disapproval can eat up your confidence and self-esteem over time. Seneca said, "Don't worry about what others think of you unless they respect you." This phrase reminds us that we shouldn't give too much importance to the opinion of those who don't have a true appreciation for us. Imagine that someone in your life always criticizes your actions, decisions, and achievements, never finding anything positive to say. This kind of constant disapproval can make you feel that it is not good enough, and that you can never meet the expectations of others. Stoics teach us that our value should not depend on the approval of others, but on our own perception of ourselves and our efforts. Why is it crucial not to accept constant disapproval? Because living under the shadow of constant criticism can prevent your growth and make it difficult for you to achieve your true potential. Unceasing disapproval can undermine your trust and cause you to doubt your own abilities and decisions. It is essential that you surround yourself with people who support you and value you for what you are. By rejecting constant disapproval, you are defending your self-esteem and your right to be who you are. You are communicating that, although you value constructive criticism, you will not accept to be continually underestimated or devalued. This allows you to maintain your confidence and move towards your goals with a clear mind and a strong heart. So, next time you face constant disapproval, remember Seneca's words. Do not worry about the opinion of those who do not respect you. Value your own achievements and trust in your ability to make decisions. Surround yourself with people who support you and inspire you, and do not allow others to disapprove you from your path. We go to the 12th thing you should never accept from anyone. Lack of support. Mutual support is essential in our relations, whether with friends, family, or co-workers. Epictetus said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how to respond to them." This phrase reminds us that although we cannot control everything around us, the support of those close to us can make a big difference in how we face adversities. Imagine that someone close to you is never present when you need to, does not support you in difficult moments, and does not celebrate your achievements. This lack of support can make you feel lonely and discouraged, as if your effort and emotions do not matter. Stoics teach us that although we should be strong and self-sufficient, it is also important to have a support network that helps us overcome the challenges. Why is it crucial not to accept the lack of support? Because we all need support at some point in our lives. Lack of support can make you feel isolated and can affect your ability to cope with stress and difficulties. Having people who support and encourage you is vital to your emotional and mental well-being. By rejecting the lack of support, you are valuing your need for meaningful and positive connections. You are saying you deserve to be surrounded by people who care about you and who are willing to offer you your unconditional support. This strengthens your relationships and allows you to face life with more trust and resilience. So the next time you feel that someone is not giving you the support you need, remember Epictetus' words. Although we cannot control all circumstances, we can choose to surround ourselves with people who support us. Seek relationships that strengthen you and do not accept less than you deserve. Let us now go to the 13th thing that you should never accept from anyone. Disrespect for your moral principles. Your moral principles are the basis of who you are and guide your decisions and actions. Epictetus said, "No man is free if he is not a master of himself." This phrase highlights the importance of maintaining his moral integrity and not allowing others to compromise his values. Imagine that someone in your life constantly tries to pressure you to act against your principles, whether for self-interest, social influence, or group pressure. This can generate an internal conflict and make you feel dishonest about yourself. Stoics teach us that we must be faithful to our principles and that our integrity should not be negotiable. Why is it crucial not to accept disrespect for your moral principles? Because when you compromise your values to please others, you are weakening your character and losing control over your life. This can lead to feelings of guilt, shame, and regret, undermining your self-esteem. By protecting your principles, you are strengthening your integrity and keeping true to who you are. So the next time someone tries to disrespect or compromise your moral principles, remember the words of Epictetus: keep your inner freedom and be master of yourself. Do not allow anyone to divert you from your values and live according to your own moral standards. Now let us go to the 14th thing that you should never accept from anyone: abuses of power. Abuse of power is to use the position of authority to control or oppress others unjustly. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of your thoughts." This phrase reminds us that power must be exercised with justice and compassion, and not in a tyrannical way. Imagine that someone in a position of power in his life, whether at work, in the family, or in other contexts, uses his authority to treat him unjustly or to impose decisions that harm his well-being. This can create an environment of fear, resentment, and frustration. Stoics teach us to resist tyranny and to seek justice in our interactions. Why is it crucial not to accept abuse of power? Because by accepting abuse of power, you are allowing others to limit your freedom and dignity. This can lead to a cycle of submission and lack of autonomy, affecting your confidence and ability to make independent decisions. By rejecting abuses of power, you are defending your rights and demanding respect and equality. So next time you face abuses of power, remember the words of Marcus Aurelius: keep your mind focused on justice and dignity, and do not allow others to sully your soul with improper use of power. Now, the 15th thing you should never accept from anyone: lack of transparency. Transparency is the basis of trust in any relationship. Seneca said, "Truth never harms a cause that is just." This phrase underlines the importance of being clear and honest in all situations. Imagine that someone close to you is constantly evasive, hiding information, or acting opaquely. This can generate distrust and insecurity, making it difficult to build solid relationships. Stoics teach us that truth is fundamental to living a virtuous and full life. Why is it crucial not to accept the lack of transparency? Because opacity in relationships can lead to unnecessary misunderstandings, suspicions, and conflicts. When people are not transparent, it undermines trust and weakens the bonds that should be based on honesty and clarity. By demanding transparency, you are promoting an environment of trust and mutual respect. So next time someone is not transparent with you, remember Seneca's words: seek the truth and insist on clarity, because transparency is essential for healthy and authentic relationships. Let us now go to the 16th thing that you should never accept from anyone: indifference to your feelings. Feelings are an essential part of our human experience, and disregarding them is a form of disrespect. Epictetus said, "Do not seek events to happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they happen, and your life will flow well." This phrase reminds us of the importance of accepting reality, but also of seeking understanding and empathy. Imagine that someone in your life constantly ignores or devalues your feelings, acting in a cold and indifferent way. This can cause emotional pain and make you feel invisible or unimportant. Stoics teach us that, although we should be resilient, It is also important to be in an environment where our feelings are recognized and respected. Why is it crucial not to accept indifference towards your feelings? Because indifference can generate loneliness and alienation, affecting your emotional and mental health. Feeling ignored can weaken your relationships and create barriers to open and sincere communication. By rejecting indifference, you are affirming your dignity and your right to be treated with empathy and respect. So the next time someone acts with indifference to your feelings, remember the words of Epictetus. Accept the reality of events, but insist on being treated with the respect you deserve. Cultivate relationships where your feelings are valued and where there is a true human connection. Finally, the 17th thing you should never accept from anyone: to remain stuck in the past. To remain stuck in the past can prevent growth and progress. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not over external events. Note this, and you will find strength." This phrase emphasizes the importance of focusing on the present and not letting the past control your life. Imagine that someone constantly reminds you of past mistakes or situations that you have already overcome, trying to keep you trapped in what you have gone through. This can prevent you from advancing and reaching your potential. Stoics teach us to live in the present and not allow the past to define our future. Why is it crucial not to accept that others keep you trapped in the past? Because the past, though important, should not be an anchor that prevents your progress. When we allow others to hold us to what you have gone through, we are giving up our ability to evolve and reinvent ourselves. By focusing on the present and the future, you are embracing change and the opportunity for growth. So the next time someone tries to keep you trapped in the past, remember the words of Marcus Aurelius. You have power over your mind, and it is it that should guide your way forward. Free yourself from the past and focus on building a future that reflects who you are now. I sincerely hope that this message has been helpful. I sincerely want to congratulate you for coming this far and completing the video. That means that you want to improve as a person. If you liked the video, leave your comment. If you don't know what to say, comment gratitude. Then I'll know that you've watched until the end. If you're not already on the channel, what are you waiting for? Sign up now and join us. Stoicism is full of teachings like this, which are applicable to our everyday life. Therefore, I encourage you to continue learning about this philosophy. I leave here 2 videos full of Stoic wisdom so you can continue learning. Until next.